What's going on, everybody? Um, Not a happy camper right now at all. To have watched that performance that was just put on by the entire team is absolute crap. Absolutely, exactly, Christopher. Absolutely diabolical. That there is no excuse for what just happened on that pitch. If you're going to try and defend Mourinho for anything inside of this game, you can't defend Mourinho inside of this game. We were sat back in our own half for how long? How long? The entire first half. We had it was 70-30, and I get possession doesn't make a big difference, but it was 70-30 possession in the first half. At home, in a Champions League game. In a Champions League game. You cannot sit back in your own half in a Champions League game. Go at the fucking team. Go at them. It's absolutely bullcrap. And Daniel Jones just said it. We were absolutely terrible tonight. Sub the last 20 minutes. And let me tell you what, guys, to not put on any subs at any point in time in that game when we are down 1-0 is bullcrap. Is absolute bullcrap. I don't understand how you don't put on any subs in that game. I get Mourinho doesn't have his boys. He doesn't have his people. But there is no excuse for not putting on one sub. Matic should have been taken off at half. And you should have put on Herrera, should have put on Fred, should have put on anybody. Put on literally anybody else. Anybody else but Matic. And the fact that is excusable inside of today's game, Real Madrid are going to fire. They fired their manager. They fired their manager for where they're at. We have no ambition right now. Absolutely no ambition. So, Mr. Exclusive, we need to shake a lot, but mainly a manager and first wasting Fred. Exactly. Fred was an absolute waste of time. Fred is an absolute waste of time. If the players showed half the passion that I have right now, if the team, if Mourinho, if everybody that was a part of Manchester United today showed half of the passion that us fans have, I guarantee you that we could have gone out there and won that game. And Sam, you're not banned. I can see you right now. I don't understand that. And Pancakes, exactly. We had no passion. Here's some stats for you guys. So we ended the game at 60-40 possession, and that's because basically the last part of the game, they were just hitting us on the counter. But we weren't a threat. We weren't a threat. There was no threat from us. None. Then here's another fun one for you. So shots. We had 6 total shots at home to Juventus' 14, with 2 of those being on target. And I'm almost positive that other than the Martial chance, we did not have a chance created that was on goal in open play. None. That is absolutely inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable to have that performance happen in a Champions League game. That pisses me off. I feel like I just wasted 2 hours of my day. 2 hours of my day where I could have been doing literally anything else. Exactly, Dan. Something has got to change. And, somebody made a joke, and I'm going to steal it from him, but somebody made the joke that the reason why Mourinho didn't put on the subs, they were still stuck on the bus on the freeway. You know what? That actually would make more sense. That would make more sense for the reason why we didn't put on any subs. I mean, listen, I understand that Chong probably isn't ready for a game like that. But throw him on, and it's a no-pressure situation, in my opinion. Because if he goes on and he does well, guess what? There's potential for a star to be born. But if he goes out there and he doesn't succeed against Juventus in a Champions League game in his first match, you just tell the kid, hey, guess what? That's your first game. That's your first game. Go out there and go do what you got to do. So, Barry, Andrew, as a fan, how can we send a message to our board that we're fans that we aren't happy with how things are going, protesting? So, Barry, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what we need to do, because we have to do something to say that what is going on that pitch is not acceptable. The fact that we continue to not be able to put in a first half performance, so that we can't put in a full game performance, once again, absolutely inexcusable. And it's been almost the entire time under Mourinho. Almost the entire time. We continue to just struggle in one half of the game all the time. And that makes me so sad, guys, because Manchester United is so much better than that. So much better than that. And exactly, George. So George Kyle just said it. So what if Chong wouldn't have done well? We're used to useless planks on the wings. Exactly. I just, the fact that we went out there and we put in the performance that we did is. So right now, I want to take some comments from you guys, because honestly, I need to calm down right now because of how pissed off I am. There shouldn't be any excuse for what just happened on that. And so Dan Jones just said it. We have no identity on Mourinho, and that's absolutely true. That is 100% true. We do not have an identity under Mourinho. I mean, in his first year, we at least had somewhat of an identity that we couldn't finish chances. We couldn't finish the 20-some-odd chances we would create a game. So, Pankaj, you said it well, too. Sir Alex Ferguson made our identity. You're absolutely right. Sir Alex Ferguson and Matt Busby, they created our identity. They absolutely created our identity. And right now, I feel like Mourinho is spitting all over that identity of our club. Guys, I really appreciate, I have 16 people in here, and I never thought that I would get 16 people in here live this early. That's so amazing, guys. I really appreciate you guys joining me in here. If you guys could maybe drop a like on the video if you're in here, I would really appreciate that. It lets me know that you guys are appreciating what I'm doing in here. But so guys, give me some of your thoughts, and I'll read out some of your guys' thoughts on what your thoughts are on the game today. Because in my opinion, there's no excuse for not putting on one sub in that game. You could have at least subbed Herrera for Matic. At least have done that, and that would have been an understandable sub for how poor Matic was today. And to me, it looks like Matic might be carrying an injury. It does. Lukaku is shocking. He's like a fridge, as Rand said. Exactly, Christopher. Exactly. I don't understand how Lukaku hasn't been dropped yet. I just don't understand. He needs a rest. He needs a break. Go sit him on the bench for a couple of weeks. I mean, so Luke Bottomley said, so frustrating, not happy at the performance. We can't attack and didn't make one single substitute. I'm starting to think Jose isn't the right man for United. I've been saying that for a long time, Luke. Matic is carrying an injury. He's called Jose. I hope so. Mr. Exclusive, because that's the only excuse for how poor he's performing. So, Pancakes, I should have just watched a movie after the first half. But we're Manchester United, guys. We expect to come back. We expect to come back because we're Manchester United. That's the reason why we never turn off the game, because Sir Alex gave us that confidence. Sir Alex gave us that we had the ability to go out there and go manage to pull off some late heroics. And it just, under Mourinho, we don't have that kind of confidence, and it's sad. How does he stay on the pitch? He's, we were totally outclassed. They look well disciplined. They were well disciplined from defense to attack extremely well. Logan, exactly right. They were 100% disciplined in going from defense to attack, and that's something we struggle with so hard, and we have for the last 2 years under Mourinho. We cannot transition from defense to attack at all. We haven't seen Fergie time since Fergie. I mean, Mr. Exclusive, we have a couple of times. I mean, for a great example, the Newcastle game, we just saw it. We've seen it, but it's very, very rare, and we don't have any confidence that it's going to happen. So Tommy Harold saying, Jose saying we were playing for a second in the group and we need Fellaini is shocking. Wow, did he really say that in his post-match presser, that we needed Fellaini? Don't get me wrong, I actually think Fellaini might have been a decent option in the game today, but damn, to come out and say that we needed Fellaini is kind of sad. Vino, so you said really poor use of the squad. Jose can't see obvious flaws in the team. Some are caused by him. Exactly. That's you're exactly right, man. So Barry J, we're stuck in the middle of a war between the board and Jose, and the players are affected by this, and they look flat and demotivated. We're moving backwards with every game. Barry, spot on comment, man. Spot on comment. Like, I've had a few different people debating me back and forth that Mourinho right now is still the man for the job, and that the reason why he's still the man for the job is because he didn't get the players that he wanted. Well, somebody even told me that he's like the reason why he's playing the way he is and he's not trying to win is to show the board that he needed more. Like, are you kidding me? To say a manager isn't going to go out there and go try and win, that manager would need to be fired yesterday if he isn't going out there and trying to win every single game. They need to be fired immediately. I've been saying this for ages. Jose's not the right man for the job. Agnostic, a lot of us have been, man. So Tommy, I did hear about he held the three fingers up again. I did hear that. So Vino, thank goodness Juventus were so poor with their finishing. You know, you have more in that comment, but you're absolutely right. There's no hiding awful excuses of the match. Like, absolutely right. I mean, we honestly, David De Gea saved us 2-3 goals again. David De Gea, man of the match. It's simple as Lindelof had a pretty decent game, but ultimately, when you're at fault for the first goal, you're an assistance of being at fault, because both him and Matic were at fault for that first goal. So Pankaz, you said it may have been ages to get it may take ages to get a manager with similar attributes like Fergie and Sir Matt Busby. And you're right, man. You're very right. So Tommy, you gave me a quote from Mourinho. No Fellaini to change the direction of the game like we do so many times. Whew. What a quote, Jose. What a quote. Great job. I applaud you for sticking to your guns. There you go. There's some positivity, guys, about what's going on right now. Jose's sticking to his guns. Andrew, what are your thoughts on Jose aiming for second place? So, guys, I put it out on my Twitter, but here's some fun facts for you. Manchester United, in the Premier League era, have not been 10th, ever. In the Premier League era, we have never been 10th. And then here's even more fun facts for you. In the Premier League era, Liverpool was the last squad that went from 10th to being inside of the top 4, and only they were 5 points off. No team in the Premier League era has gone 7 points off of the top 4 and made it into the top 4. No squad ever. There have been squads that have made it into the top 6, but never into the top 4. We're not making top 4. That is a 100%, like, there's no chance of it, especially under the way we're playing. So, Barry, Andrew, the last time we won was when you went to Manchester. Yep. And so here's another fun fact for you guys. Did you guys know that we have only won 1 game in our last 7? Aren't we Manchester United? Shouldn't we be winning more than 1 game out of the last 7? That is absolutely ridiculous that we have not won more than 1 game in our last 7 games. That's absolutely crazy. I'm going to have to look up and see when the last time that happened was, because that's absolutely insane that we have not won 1 game. We have won only 1 game. Like, but so guys, right now I've got 20 people watching. I really appreciate everybody watching with me. You know, I'm sorry that I'm kind of over emotional right now, but guys, I love Manchester United, and it hurts me to watch the performance that I just saw. Just like I'm sure it hurts all of you. It hurts me. It hurts me like right in my heart that we're so bad. And George, exactly, we're absolute shambles right now. We're absolute shambles. You know, it's a Pankaz. The players are like, if a manager doesn't care, why should they care? You know, you may be right, man. You may be right. But so, guys, I'm going to give you my player ratings real quick, even though I really don't feel like there's going to be anybody that's going to get above a 7. So, De Gea, De Gea, I'll actually give a 7.5, because if it wasn't for De Gea, you know, we would have finished how far down? in the game today, probably 3, 4. Like he made some outstanding saves today, and especially that one on the Cristiano Ronaldo chance, where I mean, honestly, that was deserving of going in that top corner, and De Gea just knocked it out. Absolutely brilliant from De Gea. So 7.5 De Gea. But so Ignacio, the only reason why I can't give it more is because, and it's sadly because of the defense. So real quick, I'm going to answer Vino's question because he asked how Phoenix Rising are doing. So, guys, Phoenix Rising are actually right now in the playoffs. We're going to the semifinals of the Western Conference, and I'm excited for them. So I'm going to be at that game on Friday night, and I might actually do a pre- and post-match on here if you guys want to hear some more about Phoenix Rising, about some predictions. And I hope you guys can maybe watch that match because there is ways to watch, and I'll try and get them to you on my Twitter. Which is at RedBeardedRed. It's in the description below. I'll try and get you guys some stuff about Phoenix Rising. Agnostic Phoenix Rising is my local club. They're a local soccer team. So some people are saying like De Gea 8, De Gea 9. You know what? I'll actually, you know what, that you bring up. So some people did bring up a good point. You know, I'll go up to De Gea 8. I think De Gea does deserve an 8 because of how many amazing saves he had. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give a 6. I mean, in all honesty, he got beat a lot down the left-hand side today, which is sad. It's really sad. So, Christopher, I'll read out your ratings here in just a second. So I'll give Shaw a 6. Lindelof, I'll give a 6.5. He was partially at fault for that first goal. But he did have an amazing second half. He made so many saving tackles in that second half. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. I'm going to go Smalling a 5. I mean, Smalling really wasn't very visible in the game. You know what? No, I'll go 5.5 because especially when we were attacking, I'm going to he did make some contributions, but 5.5. You know, I'll give him that. Ashley Young, 4. I mean, how many fouls did Ashley Young have today to try and stop people? It was absolutely pathetic. And you know, I feel bad for Ashley Young because Ashley Young shouldn't be playing week in and week out. But I mean, I get that we have a lot of players hurt right now, but Ashley Young still shouldn't be playing week in, week out. There's got to be something we can do. Let's see. Let's go to Matic. Matic, I'm giving a 3. Matic was absolutely poor. Gave the ball away constantly. I mean, Matic was my worst player today. Not even a question. Like Matic did absolutely nothing, and it was really sad. And Sally, you're exactly right. Matic was exactly awful. He was awful. He looks like somebody that's either hurt or needs a rest. So let's hope that he does. I actually really do hope Matic gets a rest because, I mean, he's 30 years old, and I'm not saying 30's old. I mean, I'm 29 for God's sake, but he needs a rest. He needs a break. So Pancatch, I'll get to that in just a second. What's up, Ibra? How you doing, man? So next up, I'm going to go with Pogba. I'm going to give him a 5. No, I'll give Pogba a 6. I was going to give him a 5.5, but I'm going to give him a 6 because, you know, he made some amazing passes, and he did open up a lot of plays for us. Just my opinion, I think he opened up a lot of plays for us. So ultimately, it's hard for me to really give Pogba that bad of a rating too, because I feel I just feel bad for Pogba because ultimately he looks up so many times. He's like, where's my runners? Where are my people going? Where's anybody? We need people. What more do you want from Pogba? Exactly. What more can Pogba do when everybody else is crap? Samuel MUFC just said that. Mata, honestly, I agree. Mata did exactly nothing today. You know, he had a great last 2 second halves of the game in the last 2 games, but I mean, Mata really didn't do anything today. So I'm going to give him a 4. you know, I know I agnostic. I really appreciate how many people are watching. We've got 18 people watching live here. I really appreciate everybody joining me. If you guys don't already sub, I would love to have you guys sub to my channel. I'm going to talk about Manchester United. I'm going to talk about the Premier League. I'm going to talk about the NFL. I'm going to talk about basketball. I'm going to talk about everything with you guys. I'm going to talk about anything and everything I can with you guys. Rashford, I'm going to give a 4. Rashford was crap today. Rashford's starting to remind me a lot of Lingard. Like, Lingard always makes good runs, but he never really gets the ball much, and he never really does anything with it when he does get the ball. And so Rashford, just to me, like, you can't really, but like I said, you can't really fault anybody because the first 70 minutes of the game, nobody was doing anything. Nobody. So how is anybody supposed to get a good rating in this match? Martial was trying things, but ultimately he didn't really succeed. He did have the only shot on target from open play in the game. The only shot on target. That is absolutely pathetic at home. Absolutely pathetic. So to me, I'm going to give Martial a 5.5. He was trying things, and like I said, he did have the only shot on target. So, Jack, hey man, how's it going? I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you found me. Hope you guys enjoy what I'm putting out here. And if you just are catching in now, go back and watch because there's been some fiery passion inside of this video. Anyways, so Martial, I'm going to give 5.5. And then ultimately, Lukaku, what did he do? I can't think of anything Lukaku did. Like, honestly, I can't even remember very many times he was on the ball. The one time I remember him being on the ball, like in the first half at least, he almost stripped the ball out of bounds. And then he tried switching the play up, and what happened? The ball wound up in the defender. Like, absolute crap. So I'm going to give Lukaku a 3.5 because ultimately Lukaku didn't really get the ball much, but I can't really fault but he didn't do anything with the chances he had, you know. But Matic, by far worst player today, and De Gea, by far our best player. Not even a question. So George, anyone who saw a young Rooney and Ronaldo knows that standards that can be reached at a young age, Martial and Rashford is so far below that, and they can't even see that level. So George, I personally disagree. I think that Martial and Rashford can both reach a high level, a very high level in this game. But I think that they need the right manager to bring them up and to bring them to be the players that we all know they can be. We all know the talent that Martial and Rashford have, but they're not being utilized the proper way, and they're not being given the training they need to. That's pretty obvious because of how far they've dropped since the LDG days. So, and then just to talk about it one more time, guys, how the hell do you not bring on one sub in that game? Not one. And we're down 1. This is Juventus. We needed to mix it up. Pancas is the one that was bringing it up. Why? Why did we not bring in anybody? Nobody. That is inexcusable to not bring on one player in a game where you are down 1. Like, I honestly feel like everybody that's in this chat right now, everybody that's watching this video knew that, hey, we need to bring a sub in. We need to do something. And Sally, exactly. Who they use all of their subs? Juventus used every single one of their subs. And they were the ones down. It would have been more understandable if they left them on there. So the infamous one just said it. Manchester United just disgraced the Champions League. That was pretty bad. To do that at home, that was pretty bad. But like, guys, you honestly could have brought on Fred, you could have brought on Pereira, you could have brought on Herrera, you could have brought on Chong, you could have brought on any of our attacking options, any one of them, and it would have been for the better. One of the Glazers was in attendance. He won't like Jose calling them out in the post-game press conference. Ooh. So Tommy, you're saying that Jose called them out? So agnostic later, man. I get it. There's a lot of you watching in the UK, and it's almost 11 o'clock there for you guys. I'm sorry that like for me, it's only 2:55 in the afternoon here. Savino, 50 million for Fred, and he's ready. He's already made a UCL match. How doesn't he see the pitch is baffling? Exactly. Like you're talking about the fact that we had players on the bench that have seen Champions League action, that we know they could have gone out there and performed. I mean, honestly, if you're asking my opinion, later, Jack, and by agnostic again, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be getting off here in about 5 minutes, anyways. I figured half an hour is about what I want to keep it on. Later, Logan. Hope you can check the rest of this out later. But so I mean, just my opinion, guys. I would have brought on Pereira. I would have brought on Pereira probably for Mata. I would have put Pereira in at the 10. I would have brought on, honestly, I would have brought on Chong for Rashford. Personally, I would have brought on Chong for Rashford and told the kid, hey, listen, I know this is a huge game. I know this is a huge game to make your debut in. But let me tell you what, go out there and play your game. End of the day, this is Juventus. If you don't succeed, oh well. It's just your first game against one of the biggest clubs in the world. And if you do succeed, guess what? You just showed the world that you're able to take on Europe's best. That's exactly what I would have said. And it's pretty simple, in my opinion. And then last sub, I would have put on Herrera for Matic. I feel like that's still inexcusable to do. Absolutely inexcusable to not have taken off Matic for how bad he was. So, Mr. Excuse, wouldn't Memphis been a better number 7 than Alexis? Whew. I'm going to stick with my opinion on Memphis. I think that he suits the French league well. So I don't think that. I don't know. I think that it'd be interesting to see him come back now, and especially once we get an attacking manager. But yeah, Daniel, I appreciate that. But real quick, so Sammy said Mourinho has destroyed Rashford, Martial, Sanchez, Pogba, Lukaku, and Bailly. The problem is clearly Mourinho. He's got blood on his hands. Spot on comment again, Samuel. Spot on comment. So George Kyle said, would any of these players get into the best team under Fergie? Deadwood is a massive problem in our club. There are a lot of dead players in this club. I completely agree. There is a lot of dead players at this club. But I do think there is a lot of talent at this club that Fergie would have made into absolute studs. Absolute studs. So, I mean, I'm thinking of doing a video here soon that's just that I'll do live to talk about Manchester United and talk about people that I personally would buy and that I would bring into the squad instantly. If you guys would like to see that, let me know. I mean, you guys are all I've got 20 people still here in that's live. 21 now, guys. Thank you so much. If you could drop a like on the video, I'd really appreciate I really appreciate everybody's support. You guys have been just giving me so much support here, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Because it genuinely means so much to me that so many people care what some dumb American has to say across the pond. I really appreciate that. But so Daniel, I really appreciate that. So yeah, I might do that. So R Star said, who do you think will win the Champions League? If you don't think it's an English team, which English team will get the furthest in my opinion? So I think that the Champions League is going to be interesting, and it's hard to know because we don't know how the bracket will be set up. But if I had to make early predictions, I'd say Juventus is probably going to make it pretty far, and I've got Juventus going to the finals. And then I'll say that it'll be Juventus against PSG because PSG do look really scary right now, really, really scary. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. So then to answer the question of which English team do I think will make it the furthest, I think Liverpool will make it the furthest. They tend to do really well in Champions League, which is upsetting. Later, Chris. I hope you have a great night, bro. Guys, I'll be live again tomorrow to discuss some NFL stuff. To try and teach you guys about NFL. But so we'll see. But anyways, guys, so I just reached 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and say thank you guys so much for joining in on the stream. Again, if for everybody that's watching live right now, thank you so much. It genuinely means so much to me that you guys are watching live with me to talk about a match afterwards. And I genuinely love you guys. Genuinely, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys, I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow to talk about the last week in the NFL. And then if you guys have any questions about the NFL, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I would love to talk to you guys about the NFL and try and educate anybody that doesn't know about how the NFL works. So God bless you guys. I hope you guys all have just a great day. So real quick, Savino said, do you watch ESPN Extra Time Panel? Those guys are hilarious, especially Steve Nichols. So I don't, Vino. I don't watch much ESPN in all honesty. They kind of ESPN's lost my respect a lot by getting very political. I don't like to bring politics into sports personally, so I like to leave politics out of everything when it comes to sports, at least. So, anyways, guys, I'm bringing you guys a live NFL video tomorrow. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm thinking I'll probably do that about 9 p.m., probably shortly after the United Stand stream goes off. So I hope you guys all have a great night. God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. I can't tell you how much it means to me, but love you guys. Have a great rest of your night, great rest of your day, wherever you're at. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. And just try and have a good night despite that terrible performance.